Let me tell you a little bit about this process as it unfolded. So the objective for the last 30 to 45 days has been to refinance the existing construction loan that I have on my property. I finished construction, I completely, fully leased up the building. Now I'm in a position where I'm able to refinance. And why would we do that, right? We would do that because we want to be able to save on interest rate. We want to be able to pay back the existing construction lender. That helps in a lot of different aspects of the whole development cycle. By paying them back, now we're in a new vehicle, right? We're focused on operational history for this asset for the future, whether that's for an exit to sell, whether that's for an exit to refinance into a much more longer 10, 20, or 30-year horizon with a different type of loan. It's very important that you pay back your construction lender as quickly as possible. Typically, these construction loans are going to have higher interest. Right now, we're seeing interest rates at an all-time low. But what happens is, in construction, when you're doing that type of loan, there's risk to the lender, and that's how they perceive risk. So when they perceive risk, they're always going to increase the rate, and that's normal for all construction projects that you see anywhere near your communities. When you get to the point where you're fully finished with the asset, even though I have several more months to go with my loan, I could wait until next year to refinance. The opportunity to reduce the interest rate now was there. The opportunity to work with another lender, one of the top 3 mutual fund managers in the world, that gave me incentive to make a new relationship, to pay back my existing lender. I spoke with them today, and they were ecstatic, extremely happy. One, that they were getting paid back. 2, that we worked together, and it was a seamless process all the way through. Now, once we're at the stage where we're about to refinance, you have to make sure you go through all the loan documents. The loan documents here were about 200 pages, right? About 200-page loan document. And there's a lot of information that's in there that you have to go over, right? And so you have to work with a good team. You have to have the right counsel, right? The attorneys and the legal counsel that we were working with are probably the best in Miami-Dade County. You have to work with a good team. So always remember that. Good teams are going to help you create even more success. So you have to go through all the details and challenges like who's going to guarantee the loan, right? Somebody has to guarantee it. In this particular case, I guarantee the new loan. I guarantee the construction loan. I guarantee the new loan. So anybody that comes into the investment with me, whether as a partner, as a capital provider, they do not need to guarantee anything, right? So that's me putting that out there saying, I'm committed to making sure this loan will be paid back. So fully committed, all right? We go through challenges though. As we're going through the loan documentation process, it's a negotiation. There's a ton of different items on these 200 or so plus pages that have to be negotiated. Every single line item. Even on the last day, when you're looking through the settlement statement, the one that details out all the cost figures, what things are going to cost, you're going to find there's certain things that you need to mark off, cross off, and say, hey, wait a minute, what is this doing here? I'll give you an example. There were a couple line items that were included that should not have been there, that saved a substantial amount of money, right? So you got to look at those details, and you got to add the numbers up. And you got to make sure that what you're paying, remember, any loan that you're taking on is a cost. There's a cost to this loan. So every dollar that you take in, there's a cost to that dollar, right? There's an interest that has to be paid because eventually at some point in time, you're going to pay that back. Let me tell you, leverage is probably one of the greatest things that you can understand. A lot of people say, I don't want to have any debt. I don't want to have any debt. No debt at all. Listen, that's not the right way to do it if you're looking at investment vehicles and real estate overall, right? That might be good if you're looking at that from a personal perspective, personal cards, credit cards, cars, those kind of things that depreciate over time. But when you're looking at appreciating assets and you're looking at income producing real estate, debt is one of the vehicles that's going to allow you to enhance your returns as long as you do it thoughtfully. You can't over leverage. Not going to have a loan 100% on anything, right? That's not feasible. That's not realistic. And anybody that says that obviously doesn't understand what the markets are telling them. So you have to understand what the markets are saying in terms of loan to values, in terms of interest rates, so that you can secure the right loan for your, for your projects. Now we're at the very tail end. All the wires have been sent out. Everything is completed. And now I'm looking forward to just making sure that this property operates at the highest level, meaning income comes in, and I continue to reduce the expenses as much as I can on a monthly basis. And how do we do that? Through reporting, right? A real estate developer's job, as much as we're seeing, the asset, as much as we're seeing construction when it comes up, the real bulk of the work is understanding the reports that come in, digesting it, and asking the right questions. Understanding what the report means and how we can forecast if something's going to go wrong in the future in the next 2 or 3 months. You need to be able to see that. You want to see the trends in the past, but you want to understand how that affects the future and how you can forecast better. Are you starting to see a decrease in a certain line item? Why? What's the problem? What has happened? And how do we solve that? Those are the questions you have to ask. I always look at it's very basic. It's who is doing it? What is going on? When is the time frame? Where do we find another solution? How? Very basic questions that are going to open up a lot of clarity for you, because you have to be clear on what you're doing.